verse 455. Of the three svabhavas, one is parikalpita, mutuality is paritantra, and suchness is parinishpana. This is always taught by me in the sutra. 456, from chapter 2, verse 172. Because of the distinction between nama, pada, and vayajana, the ignorant, the dull-witted, stick to them like the elephant in deep mud. 457 through 458, from chapter 2, verses 203 to 204. The Diva vehicle, the Brahma vehicle, the Shravaka vehicle, the Pradyeka vehicle, and the Tathagata vehicle, of these I speak. So long as there is a mind making conscious efforts, there can be no culmination as regards the various vehicles. When a revulsion takes place in the mind, there is neither a vehicle nor one who rides on it. 459. The citta, discrimination, thought construction, manas, vijnana, the alaya, all that which sets the triple world in motion are synonyms of mind. 460. Life, warmth, the vijnana, the alaya, the vital principle, manas, manovijnana, these are the names for discrimination. 461. The body is maintained by the citta. The manas always cogitates. The manovijnana together with the vijnanas cuts the world in pieces as objects of citta. Verse 462 to 464, from chapter 2, verses 3 to 5. As thou reviewest the world with thy transcendental knowledge and compassion, it is to thee always like a dream, of which one cannot say whether it is permanent or destructible, as the category of being and non-being is inapplicable to it. In the Dharmakaya, whose self-nature is like a vision or a dream, what is there to praise? When no thought arises as to the existence or as to not having self-nature, then there is praise. Of a thing whose appearance is not visible because of its being beyond the senses and their objects, how can it be praised or blamed, O Muni? 465 to 469, chapter 2, verses 15 to 19. What is that which is born of causation? What is effect? What is cause or that which works? Whence the doctrine of duality? Whence does it arise? Wherefore is the tranquilizing exercise of formlessness, and that of complete extinction? Wherefore the extinction of thoughts, and how is one awakened from it? How does action arise? Whence is the behavior of those who hold the body? Whence this visible world? Whence the conditions? Whence the entrance upon the stages? Who is it that breaks through this triple existence? What is the abode? What is the body? Where does that which is abiding arise? Whence comes the son of the Buddha? Who attains the psychic faculties, the self-masteries, the samadhis? How is the mind tranquilized? Pray tell me, O bull-like victor. 470 to 471, from chapter 3, verses 7 to 8. From the night of enlightenment till that of nirvana, I have not, in the meantime, made any proclamation whatever. It is on account of the deeper meaning that the eternally abiding reality of self-realization is talked of by me. And between myself and all the other Buddhas in this respect, there is no distinction whatever. 472. Some say that an ego soul really is, which is separate from the skandha appearance, or that the skandhas really exist. But there is, after all, no ego soul in them. 473. When one's doings, together with the passions primary and secondary, are brought to light, one perceives the world to be the mind itself, and is released from all sufferings. 474 to 487, from chapter 2, verses 20 through 33. What is the alaya? And whence the monovijnana? How does the visible world rise? How does it cease from being visible? Whence are families and no families? What is meant by mind only? The setting up of marks, and whence the doctrine of egolessness? Why is there no being? What kind of teaching is in accordance with popular thinking? How can one cease cherishing eternalism and nihilism? How is it that you do not differ from the philosophers as regards appearance? Tell me, whence is the rise of the Nyaya school, its future? What is meant by emptiness? What do you understand by momentary destruction? Whence is the womb, and whence is the stability of the world? Why is the world like a vision and a dream? How does it resemble the city of the Gandharvas? Why is it to be regarded as like a mirage or like the moon reflected in water? Pray, tell me. What are the elements of enlightenment? Whence are the constituents of enlightenment? Wherefore is a revolution and the disturbance of a kingdom? And how does the realistic view of existence take its rise? What is meant by the world being above birth and death, or being like the flower in the air? How do you understand it? Why do you regard it as being beyond words? How is it not subject to discrimination? How is it like the sky? Of how many sorts is suchness? How manifold is the mind? How many paramitas are there? Whence is the gradation of the stages? What is the state of imagelessness? Wherefore is the twofold egolessness? How is one cleansed of the hindrance of knowledge? Of how many kinds is knowledge, or jnana? O leader, how many moral precepts are there, and forms of being? Whence are the families born of gold and jewel and pearl? Of whom is speech born? Whence is the differentiation of beings? Whence are the sciences, offices, arts, and by whom are they made manifest? Of how many sorts are gathas? What is prose? What is meter? Of how many sorts is reasoning and exegesis? How many varieties of food and drink are there? Whence does sexual desire originate? Whence are there kings, sovereigns, and provincial rulers? 488. The extinction knowledge attained by the Shravakas, the birth of the Buddhas, and that of the Pratyeka Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all takes place by getting rid of the passions. 489. No external forms are in existence. What is external is what is seen of the mind itself. As the ignorant fail to understand as regards the mind itself, they imagine the Samskrita as real. 490. The insight that pluralities are of the mind itself is withheld from the bewildered, who, not knowing what the nature of the external world is, are under bondage to the ideas of causation and the fourfold proposition. 91. There are no reasons, no statements, no illustrations, no syllogistic members to the intelligent who know that the external world is the reflection of their own mind. 492. Do not discriminate by discrimination. To discriminate is characteristic of the parikalpita, or imagination. Depending on the imagination, discrimination is evolved. 493. One's habit energy is the origin of all things, which are mutually and uninterruptedly knitted together. As dualism is primarily external to people's minds, there is no rising of it.